Deepens in Queensland's outback as the threat of yet another cyclone increases.
Queensland's youth crime crisis laid bare. Children in hospital after crashing a stolen car.
Finally, some good news for homeowners. Banks start cutting interest rates to fight for business.
How crooks are cloning cars, racking up huge fines in your name. Sportscaster Ian Maurice warns other drivers.
What a win. A Hawthorn woman $100 million richer. So what's the first thing she did?
And hammer time at Capera as Bluey takes over Bunnings.
Live from Brisbane, 7 News with Sharon Gadella and Max Butcher.
Good evening. As Queensland's outback is drenched by ex-tropical cyclone Kirrily, the state is now facing the prospect of a new cyclone.
The likelihood of one forming off the coast has increased as serious flooding spreads across the northwest.
An ocean in the outback. More than a year's worth of rain falling in just days in some parts of the northwest, dumped from ex-tropical cyclone Kirrily.
More totals than what we've ever seen, even more than the 74 floods.
The Blue Healer Hotel in Kainoona was right in the water's path. Today, the owners returned to assess the damage.
It's a mess, actually, because, all the silt, the rooms are all gutted. It's just devastating, really.
They'll need help to reopen.
The best thing would be trades, because we're so remote, and getting trades out here is just, it's a nightmare.
In cattle country, mostly the water is welcome.
I think the majority of people are quite happy with the rain, and, flooding is expected out here.
But there can be too much of a good thing. Some locals saying this flooding is worse than 2019. 2 kilometres of rail line at Mount Isa is damaged. Supermarket shelves in town stripped bare. Coles and Woolworths expect their supply trucks should get through tomorrow. Right now, Kirrily is over the Gulf Coast, knocking out power on Mornington Island, flooding Burketown, and the system is far from done.
We're going to start to see that system moving towards the south, so bringing that heavy rainfall back into northwestern Queensland, mainly west of Mount Isa.
And not our only weather worry. A tropical low could become our third cyclone.
We couldn't rule out a coastal crossing of this system at some point late next week.
Too early to know for sure, but this battle-weary state may need to get ready for another round. Laura Dimmick, 7 News.
Well, let's bring in Paul Burt now. And Bertie, what's the latest with this low-pressure system?
Sharon, at the moment, that low is anchored onto a monsoonal trough, and that monsoonal trough is very active. But at this stage, from what we can see from a lot of the modelling on our end, is it's not really showing any threat for the next few days into early next week of any cyclone activity. But again, there's a lot of activity out there, so we'll keep a close eye on it as that system stays further to the east out towards New Caledonia. Again, at this stage, no cyclone, but we'll keep a close eye on that. Today's temps, everybody, it did hold steady at around 33 to 35 in the west, obviously warming up. The city warmed up to around 33, 30 to 31 coastal, down to about 22 degrees overnight. A fabulous weekend ahead of us, team. I'll have more weather for you shortly.
Paul Burt on the Gold Coast. 5 teenagers have been hurt, 2 of them seriously.